Imagine a fighter so tough, it can take a cannon shell to the cowling, lose half its oil, and still fly 125 miles home. No, it's not a Marvel superhero. It's the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, nicknamed the Jug. This beast of the skies was the airborne equivalent to a sledgehammer wrapped in armor plating. Today, we're diving into the story of the P-47, its origin, its mission to protect bombers at all costs, its triumphs, its quirks, and why it was basically the flying tank of World War II. So let's rewind to 1940. The Luftwaffe was flexing hard, and the U.S. Army Air Corps needed a fighter that could escort bombers deep into enemy territory. Enter Alexander Kartvili, a Georgian-born designer with a flair for overkill. His answer? A fighter so large and powerful, it made the Spitfire look like a paper airplane. The P-47 was built around a monstrous Pratt & Whitney R2800 double-washed engine, an 18-cylinder radio that could churn out over 2,000 horsepower. To tame this beast at altitude, Kartvili added a turbo-supercharged system that ran through the belly of the aircraft. The result? A fighter that could scream through the sky at 440 miles per hour and still punch through flag like it owed it money. The Thunderbolt's mission was simple: protect the bombers at all costs, and those costs were high. Early models had range issues, great for local defense, terrible for escorting B-17s into Germany. But once the drop tanks were added in 1944, the Jug became the heavyweight guardian angel of the skies. Its 850 caliber machine guns could shred enemy fighters and ground targets alike, and thanks to its rugged airframe and armor, it could take a beating and still bring its pilot home. Pilots loved it, bombers loved it, the Luftwaffe, not so much. Let's hit you with some stats that'll make your propeller spin. Over 15,600 Thunderbolts were built, more than any other U.S. fighter. It flew over 746,000 combat sorties. It destroyed more than 7,000 enemy aircraft, half in air-to-air combat. It could carry 2,500 pounds of bombs or 10 5-inch rockets. It was the largest single-engine fighter of the war. It weighed up to 8 tons or more when fully loaded, and it wasn't just a sky warrior. The P-47 was a train buster, a tank killer, a bridge obliterator. In the months around D-Day, it helped clear the path for Allied troops by turning German infrastructure into scrap metal. Of course, no legend is without its flaws. Early on, the P-47 was criticized for being too heavy, too thirsty, and too clumsy. It couldn't turn with the Messerschmitt. Early models had limited range, but what it lacked in finesse, it made up in brute force. Its nickname? Jug, short for Juggernaut, or maybe because it looked like a milk jug with wings. Either way, it stuck. Some pilots call it the flying bathtub. Others just call it home, especially after limping back from missions with holes in the fuselage and oil on the windshield. Now, let's talk heroes. Major Gavik Ibreski and the 56th Fighter Group, the top American ace in Europe, scored 28 aerial victories. Colonel Neil Kirby, pilot in the 348th Fighter Group, was credited with 22 aerial victories in the Pacific Theater. Major William Bill Dunham scored 15 aerial victories, also with the 348th Fighter Group. Later promoted to Brigadier General, Thunderbolts flew in every major theater: Europe, the Pacific, the Mediterranean. They escorted bombers over Germany, strafed trains in France, and dive-bombed bunkers in Burma. They were the backbone of the 8th Air Force and the hammer of the 9th. Today, the P-47 lives on in museums, air shows, and restoration hangars. Some are still flying, like the Razorback Thunderbolt that debuted at Oshkosh in 2023, restored with over 40,000 parts and a water alcohol injection system that makes it roar like it's still 1944. It's the spiritual ancestor of the A-10 Thunderbolt II, another flying tank with a love for ground targets. And while the Mustang may get the Hollywood spotlight, the Jug gets the respect of every pilot who ever flew one. So next time someone asks you what the toughest fighter of World War II was, don't say Spitfire, don't say Mustang, say Thunderbolt, say Jug. Say the plane that could dive like a meteor, shoot like a battleship, and survive like a cockroach in nuclear war. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you think the Jug deserves more love. And if you want more stories of aviation oddities and airborne legends, you know where to find me. Space Extra, out.